I might be responsible for my brother having a baby at 16.
Okay.
I feel horrible just typing this, but I really need to get this off my chest. My brother, 17, and I get into fights, which I believe is normal between siblings. But on this particular day, he made me so mad. I had never gotten so angry before that I went to his drawer where I knew he kept his condoms, and I sat there and poked holes in most of them with a needle. I ended up forgetting about it, but then the following year, he told us his girlfriend was pregnant. My dad was so upset and kept asking him why he didn't use protection, and my brother just kept saying he did. I immediately remembered what I did, and I felt awful. The baby lives with us now, and I feel like I ruined all of their lives. I think about it all the time and how what I did was so wrong, and I feel incredibly guilty.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like that one goes without being said.
So bad? Like,
yes, you should feel like an asshole.
that's assault.
That's wrong on so many levels. I mean, here's the thing. A baby's a beautiful thing. I'm sure that they're very happy and they've welcomed this baby into their lives and it's a blessing, I'm sure, you know? But that's kind of taking control of somebody else's fate and dictating their future in a way.
Absolutely.
So I think that's extremely messed up. I think you should feel guilty, but at the same time, guilty might not be the right word because a beautiful life came out of it. And I guess I don't know how the attitude towards the baby. I don't know if they go on to say that, but.
Username's been deleted. I don't see any comments by OP. So nothing. No other info.
That's crazy.
I can't imagine being so mad at someone that I would do something like that. And like we've had stories in the past where, you know, mother-in-laws have poked holes in condoms to get their daughter-in-law pregnant. Like we've had that. And that's
still messed up.
They're all fucked up. Like don't poke holes in people's condoms. Because like 16, the whole trajectory of their life has changed. Who knows if they would have even stayed together? Who knows if they would have chosen to have kids?
Right.
Like their whole life is forever changed. And not saying that they won't like succeed in the same way, but they're definitely going to struggle more.
Yeah.
Like having a kid is no easy feat, especially at 16. Top comment on this one, what the fuck? And someone replies to it and goes, good use of the sub though. Because it is like the confession sub.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Someone else goes, girl, what the fuck? You're going to have one guilty conscience if you aren't giving him child support. People get sexual assault charges for this, you know?
Yeah, I was wondering if there's any type of implications for doing that.
I think the mother-in-law in one of the cases like had been charged.
Really?
So some people are calling it like it's a form of intimate partner violence. Some people are kind of saying it could be prosecuted under like reproductive coercion. But then there's like another line in this that like, however, it is not a crime, even though ACOG says it should be.
ACOG?
Yeah, American College of Obstetricians.
Oh, I've never known how to say that word. That's a word I've gotten like very far in life without ever having to like actually say.
No, it's why you just say OBGYN.
Exactly. I've never had to say that word.
I've never said it out loud either.
Wow. That's a lot coming from you.
No, you just say like, oh, the OB.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah. Which is already, anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting because I do remember like that coming up in a conversation about like pressing charges. And I thought one of the stories did, but I don't know. I'm not seeing the fact that like I don't see anything on Google thus far from scrolling that says it is illegal.
Well, it just seems incredibly difficult to prove. Incredibly difficult because how can you argue that it wasn't ripped during intercourse or that there wasn't somehow a faulty condom that already had a hole? Like there's just so many variables that can't necessarily be accounted for. Unless somebody explicitly says, I poked a hole in a condom. But even then, it's just a lot of gray area. But I mean, that's not the point of this, to be like looking at this from a legal lens. I think it's so messed up. And honestly, those are the types of stories that, you know, are passed on. And essentially turn into like scare tactic stories. Like, because what if that girl was on birth control, right?
Yeah.
And now they're going to tell all their friends, oh, I still got pregnant.
I know.
Even on birth control, and used a condom. And now everyone's like, oh my God, you can't trust birth or whatever. Or like, oh, we used a condom and I still got pregnant. And now everyone's questioning like the safety of those things. Those are the horror stories you hear. And I wonder how many times like somebody poked a hole in the condom and that detail was left out.
Yeah. Just the fact he's got to be stuck feeling like that. I think like wondering like, well, we did everything right. Like, and it still happened to us. Like to have that feeling where it's like, ugh.
Right. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason. I think, you know, it's hard to say based on the very little detail we have what their lives look like today and the relationship with the child.
Mm-hmm.
But something tells me that that child was meant to be here through whatever wicked way they were brought into the world. And hopefully that's just the lens that they look at it from is like, hey, everything happens for a reason. You're here. Like
blessing in disguise vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely work out. Sounds like the family's super supportive and the baby's living with them, which is great.
Exactly.
They have help.
Yeah.
So, but fuck that sister.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't imagine. You have to be very evil to do that, one, to anybody, period. And then two, to do it to your own brother who's a minor. That's,
I know.
Honestly, seems so wicked.
Whoa, yeah. And they didn't put their age, and I wonder what their age is, if they're younger or older. If they're older, extra fuck you.
Yeah.
But it's giving Slug Boy vibes.
The one who was poisoning his girlfriend?
Yeah. And there's like another person that we covered on the Patreon who like poisoned their friend with laxatives because they didn't want their friend to do better. I heard
that story, yeah.
That was like a test.
Patreon, was it?
I think it was.
I heard this story though.
I think we ended up moving it to Patreon. For those like that are listening and they're like, what? You never talked about that. But yeah, it was like a story essentially where this girl or this person was like poisoning their friend with laxatives. And they admitted it. But I think there is like a common denominator when like you're capable of doing terrible, calculated shit like this.
Right.
Because like, yeah, okay, you poked holes and then walked away. But like, that's not something I would forget about.
No.
And
I mean, clearly they didn't either because here they are.
A year later wondering.
Yeah. But I think you make a good point. I do think it takes a certain type of consciousness to be able to do these things and walk away and not let it eat you alive. I could never do anything even I'm such a karma believer that
absolutely
I'm so scared that even if I'm like so angry at someone, I don't ever think about doing something to get back at them because I just know that somehow, some way that energy will come back to me in a negative form.
It does.
You know, I truly believe that wholeheartedly.
I do as well.
So I could never do something like that ever. I mean, it like you said, it changes the trajectory of somebody's entire life.
I know.
2 people's lives.
I know. I just like, I
people's lives.
fully believe in karma. I just,
totally.
It's not worth it.
It's energy. It's like you're channeling this negative energy. And I think at one point or another, most of us in life have done something reactive out of anger, whether we were children, whether we were adults. Like you've done something, like your brother pisses you off, so you go like trash his Xbox. We've all done it in relationships. Your boyfriend likes a girl's photo, so you go out to the bar and like hit on a guy. Like tit for tat mentality is a little bit instinctual, I think, as humans. The difference is the people who can reflect and feel bad about it and the people who can say like, I don't feel bad, I double down on it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it sounds like, I want to say she has remorse because she's running. I don't know.
Yeah. First line is, I feel horrible just typing this.
Okay.
But I really need to get it off my chest.
It sounds like there's a little bit of guilt here.
Oh, yeah. So that's a good sign.
That's a good sign.
Time to help out. Change some diapers, pay some child support.
At that point, I mean, if it were me and it's hard to put myself
Take it to the grave?
No, I don't think I can take anything to the grave. I don't think I can take anything to the grave. But I don't even know. Something like that, I think I would feel like I'm living my whole life indebted. The whole, like, anytime that child needs help, I would feel like it's on me.
Jump, yeah.
Yes.
I could see that.
You know?
I could see it.